It's that time again for another not-so-normal gaming podcast, featuring your hosts, MrTechnoSqueek.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Nostalgic Dan 1.
Everything I feel is in this sword. Good.
Come on!
And Quick Freeze 4.
Don't worry. I'll handle the bad guys.
This is a podcast you want to listen to, but first, you gotta press start.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Press Start Podcast. This is episode 102. So, I am MrTechnoSqueek. I am the best on this damn podcast that there ever will be.
I don't think so. You were kind of late for today's episode.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what kings get to do. They get to sleep in.
I don't think so. I don't want to be a part of your kingdom.
That's not a good kingdom if you're just sleeping the whole time. The king's doing nothing.
Dude,
I know, wouldn't it be kind of boring?
you not like sleep.
Oh, no, I love sleep, but, still, I wake up in time for the podcast when it's about to start.
Nah, whatever.
No, whatever.
Yeah. So, that is Clava Quick Freeze 4. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you, Techno?
Kind of sleepy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a given.
Just woke up, so it makes sense.
So, Dan, how are you?
I'm doing swell. Very swell. Thanks for asking, Techno. I'm glad you care about me. I love you.
Oh, always. Always and forever.
Oh,
It's mutual love.
what's going on there between you two? Jeez.
Oh, so much
Nothing.
love. You have no idea.
Just the two of us.
Oh my god.
Guys, how have you been? Haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks. I was very, very lonely without your presence. How are you?
No.
Sleeping?
Well,
Techno's been sleeping for like the past 2 weeks.
this has already been established. But Dan, you've been getting tons and tons of crap for your Vita. What have you been getting?
Well, I picked up two like this week too. Like they both came out. Well, technically the other one came out last week, but I had two limited editions come in this week. The first one was for Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, which is the sequel to probably one of my favorite Vita games ever, and probably one of my games of the year, honestly. The original one was just such a wonderful mystery adventure game, and the writing was incredible. It was just so interesting. Picture like, a Saw kind of game, but very anime style. It's a killing game. You have high school kids, and it's really intense at times, but then it's really strange and really funny at times. It's just wonderful. So a sequel came out, so obviously I was highly anticipating that, and I picked up the limited edition, which was pretty sweet. Came with art book, soundtrack, replica coin, pair of sunglasses. How many limited editions come with sunglasses?
Have you busted out those sunglasses yet?
No, unfortunately, because I already have a good pair of sunglasses. I have a pair of Ray-Bans, so it's kind of pointless. But they look nice. They kind of look like Ray-Bans, but
They did look kind of good, yeah.
yeah, the paint quality is nice. And they're legit sunglasses. They have UV protection, so you could wear those if you wanted to. So that's cool. And then recently, well, it came out like last week. It's weird. So I picked up the Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 limited edition, which is basically a remake or a port of the original one on the PS3, except they changed the battle system and added some new cutscenes and whatnot. But this was a really limited edition, actually. They only made 1,000 quantities, and it's because Idea Factory is publishing now. They've never done that, but it was weird. They couldn't put it up for pre-order, so the way they did it was the game released on August 26th, I think. So they said at midnight on August 26th we'll put up the listing for the limited edition, and they did it, and it sold out in under 2 minutes at midnight. So they went through 1,000 quantities in 2 minutes, and as a result, there were a lot of angry people because a lot of people stayed up hoping they could get this, and a lot of scalpers, unfortunately, bought a shit ton of them to resell because it's now going for $400+, upwards of $1,000. It's insane. So it's a really sought after item because people missed out on it. And the other thing is they said it was going to be available for like international shipping, so a lot of international folks were really excited, and it turns out it wasn't available for international shipping, so there were a lot of international peeps really frustrated about that. But I got that, so obviously I was really happy, but long story short, thanks to Amazon's really, really shitty packaging job, which they do every now and then, it arrived busted up as fuck. There are dents and creases all over this fucking thing. The only part of it that doesn't have a damaged area is like the bottom of the box. There's a really ugly dent on like the side of it. They didn't bubble wrap it. They put like 2 air bubbles in it, thinking it wouldn't move around, but it still moved around. And there's a huge ass dent on the actual box, like the shipping box. So it looked like maybe they put like a heavier box or item on top of it. It got smashed. So there's a reason you bubble wrap these items, is in case the actual shipping box gets damaged. The bubble wrap is meant to absorb that damage. It's a crazy thought that, maybe Amazon should use this thing called bubble wrap, but they're weird. Like, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but Amazon shipping is strange. Like, remember one time where I received like a PSP game in like a box.
I remember this.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like you're using a big ass box for one little PSP game, and you should be using this box for like someone else's limited edition. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then they'll send like box sets or stuff in like manila envelopes, those regular bubble mailers, and those get smashed easy. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, do you guys just use whatever you have next to you? And like, oh, throw it in there, it's fine. So
That's so weird because I just got the Ghostbusters complete collection on DVD, and they put that thing's kind of big, and I also got like a graphic novel, and they put that thing in a box with, those big air bags filled with air, obviously. But yeah, they don't. I don't know. I've never encountered a problem like you have.
no,
That's so weird.
this was really bad. I mean, it was really obvious it got damaged. So it happened during handling. Someone had no regards for this package, but it barely fit in the box, so all it took was that little bit of pressure, and it was going to damage the item, unfortunately. But trust me, I had some really well-worded messages for Amazon, we'll say that. I basically gave them my 2 cents, and I also provided visual evidence. I was like, if you guys want to see, I'm telling the truth. This thing got really fucked up, and there's no way I'm paying for this, and basically, I got a full refund for it, so this costs Amazon $58 and not me, so this is free, and I don't have to return the item because, well, why would I return it? It's like, if I returned it now, there's no more out there, or I could pay $400+ for it. So I told them that. I was like, there's no way I can return it. It doesn't make sense. But I got that, and it's actually a nice limited edition. The contents of it came with like a Hyperdimension Neptunia hard case, like one of those really sturdy PS Vita cases, and it's really great because I actually didn't have a good case for my Vita for the longest time, and now I finally do. It's also got like a little pouch where you can store accessories and whatnot. Came with an art print and a keychain, like a rubber keychain that was also in the Japanese limited edition. And the only reason this was limited to 1,000 was because of this like rubber keychain, because it came directly from the Japanese set, and I guess they didn't have that many quantities, but yeah, those are 2 of the games I picked up. I still have more limited editions coming out this month. This month has been really busy. There's just been a lot of stuff coming out, and a lot more stuff coming out very soon in like October, November. So it's been crazy month. A lot of good stuff.
So you said that game was available for international, but it turned out it wasn't?
What happened was Idea Factory was like, oh yeah, this limited edition's coming out, and they said that like if you want to buy this limited edition, it's going to ship internationally.
Okay.
And when a lot of international folks went to do it, it said this item is currently not available for international shipping. So like, I guess they relied on Amazon. They thought it was going to ship internationally, but it turns out they didn't. So all these international folks, you can imagine, probably woke up at like early mornings because it's, midnight, so it's probably like early morning in certain places. So woke up just to find out that they couldn't even buy the item in the first place. So it was a mess. There's a lot of people really mad, and I'm not the only one. I've heard other claims that like this particular set, other people's items getting damaged as well. So this happens a lot. I mean, Amazon's really bad with like limited editions, period. Like anything that's like a box set. Sometimes they do good, but it's just sometimes they really don't know how to package items sometimes. It's really poor, and sometimes it feels like they're just cutting costs, like to save money as a business, but it just winds up with frustrated people like me. But at the end of the day, I got justice for that item. It cost me absolutely nothing out of my pocket, and it's it's still presentable in a way because the front of the box isn't too bad and it looks okay. It's presentable, and I'm happy to have it. It's a really sought after item now. But yeah, picked up those 2 limited editions. I got the Fairy Fencer F limited edition coming out in 2 weeks. Arno Surge limited edition coming out in 3 weeks. There's a lot of stuff. There's still more to come.
Wow.
What about you guys? What's going on?
What stuff coming out?
Yeah, or anything in general.
Well, I pre-ordered the limited edition for the Final Fantasy Theatrhythm, the Curtain Calls.
Yeah.
I got that off the Square Enix website because I could be wrong, but I think that was the only site that had the limited edition for that one.
That's correct. It's a Square
Okay.
Enix exclusive.
So yeah, I'm getting that one, and that actually comes out the 16th, which is fantastic because it's literally a day after my birthday. So I'm like, yeah! So I can't wait. And what was... I know you guys talk about this all the time, but what is that butt game?
Shinran Kagura.
What is
Shinobi
it?
Verse.
Yeah.
Senran Kagura Shinobi Verse.
Okay, well, I didn't buy this one.
Let's get physical.
Let's
Okay.
get physical edition. That's what it's called.
All right,
Yep.
I did not order this one, but my brother did, and he's gonna give me all the... He just wants the game, but he's gonna give me all the bonus, like the art book and the soundtrack. But he pre-ordered that, so, and I think that one comes out when, like October.
October.
Yeah.
It was supposed to
So-
come out later this month, but they pushed it back.
Yeah, so I'll be getting the contents for that one. I can't...
And there'll
I don't
also
know.
be a second copy there for you to play. You can do
Yeah,
online boot battles with...
I know now we'll have like 2 copies around, so I'll probably play one just to try it out because I don't know. I hear you guys talking about it all the time. So, but and then I think the only other special edition I have pre-ordered is Persona Q, and I wanted that one because it came with all the tarot cards and stuff like that. So that's about it for me really for special editions. So, how about you, Techno? Do you get any special editions coming up?
Well, game-wise, just the Shinran Kagura, but I got some anime on the way
Anime.
on Blu-ray.
What you got
Cowboy
coming?
Bebop Blu-ray
Mm.
coming out December 19th, and the last 2 OVAs of Hellsing Ultimate comes out around the end of October to like the early November, and yeah.
Did you pre-order the Dragon Ball Z movie,
No,
the Battle of the God?
no.
Really, I would think you would want that one.
I watched it. I didn't really care for it.
I don't know. I think you should get it. I'm getting it. I already pre-ordered it. I also pre-ordered the part 2 of Attack on Titans.
Attack on Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like part 2. I enjoyed it.
Really? Okay. I watched the first half and I liked it, but then I was just like, this is kind of weird. But it's like weird enough where I kind of wanted to see the rest of it.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Part 2 probably has one of the best battle sequences in like any anime. It's so fucking good, and it takes up like 2 episodes or something. It's so good. Holy shit! It was
Yeah, that-
intense.
Yeah, that actually comes out September 23rd, so I'll have that coming, and I got that Dragon Ball Z movie coming, so I think that would kind of neat. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, also, I can't remember the name of the company that picked it up or got the license, but a company, Ronin Warriors, has been picked up.
I saw that. Yeah.
The only thing is going to be the Japanese one right now, and then if and whenever they do the dub, it will be a different collection.
That's just DVD, or is it DVD and Blu-ray?
I don't know. They haven't said.
That's kind of cool. I liked Ronin Warriors back in the day.
Cool. But guys, do you like Mario Kart?
No.
Oh,
No,
get
not
out of
at
here.
all.
Fine. Do you at least tell me like Kirby Air Ride? Come on, now.
I can't honestly say I
I've-
played that one.
Kirby Air Ride.
I've never played it.
But what about Mario Kart 8 that got you so happy?
So, guys, I don't know if you heard recently, but there's DLC actually for Mario Kart 8. Remember we were talking like, oh, it'd be cool if they did DLC for Mario Kart eventually and add new tracks and stuff. Guess what? They're doing just that. There's going to be 2 DLC packs, and this is like really actually a kind of groundbreaking thing because we always saw Mario Kart as like only Mario characters and stuff like that. Well, not anymore. Now it's finally becoming like a Nintendo kart racer because one of the packs is based off The Legend of Zelda. So a new character will be Link, and this pack is going to include Link, Tanuki, Mario, another version of Peach. Yes, that's the 4th. Count them, 4 versions of Peach. This is Cat Peach. She's in a little kitty suit. So for all you, furry kind of animal fanatics who we count them off. There's Peach, there's Baby Peach, there's a stupid fucking pink gold Peach which no one gives a shit about. And now there's a Cat Peach. But
it's so funny too, because all that is like a skin swap.
Yeah, it's a reskin, new costume.
Like I don't understand. Yeah, it's a waste.
Yeah, but that's cool. Like these are really robust content packs for like the amount they're asking. It's actually a lot of content. So you get those 3 characters, and this is just one pack. You get 4 vehicles. One of them is confirmed to be the Blue Falcon from F-Zero. There's 8 tracks, so 2 new cups and 4 tracks apiece. One of them's a F-Zero based track, so that's super fucking cool. And the other one I'm super excited about is a track based off Excite Bike, which looks really fucking awesome, but I can't wait for that. I think there's also like another like Donkey Kong kind of bass track and maybe a Zelda. I would assume a Zelda one because Link's in there. And the other pack is based off Animal Crossing, so it's gonna have the villager Isabelle and a dry Bowser, so it's like a skeleton version of Bowser. It should have just been Dry Bones, but whatever.
I know.
It's Dry Bowser, but this is gonna come with 4 vehicles. They haven't confirmed any of the vehicles for this pack yet, but this is gonna have 2 cups as well, kind of Animal Crossing based course and some other courses in there. But these are costing around $7.99 per pack, so it's like $8 each. But you get 3 characters in each of these, 4 vehicles, and 8 tracks per pack. But if you actually buy them together, it's actually cheaper because $8 a piece, it would be $16 to buy them both, but you can buy a double pack for $11.99. And the interesting thing is it's actually available for pre-purchase, so you can like pre-order the DLC, I guess. And if you actually pre-order it, you get like instantly, you get like 8 new colors for Yoshi and like 8 new colors for Shy Guy. So you get some content right away. And as soon as you boot up like Mario Kart 8 now, it'll like update and it'll like, you can see it in game. It'll say like the, pre-purchase content and all that. So that's interesting.
So download it automatically for you?
Yeah, or it's there. You can like purchase it from in-game. Or there's also the other DLC, which is the Mercedes-Benz DLC that just came out, and that's free. And you can like instantly pick this up right now if you haven't, and get like 3 new Mercedes cars. One of them's a GLA Mercedes, a Silver Arrow, and a 300 SL Roadster. I downloaded them, and they all come with their own sets of like wheels and stuff too. But it's weird just to see like Mercedes in Mario Kart. I don't know. I toyed around with using like one of the Mercedes cars, but once you get used to like a setup in Mario Kart 8 or like any Mario Kart, you just kind of stick with it. Yeah, like I'm used to my setup, so it's like it doesn't matter if there's any new vehicles or whatever. I'm probably going to stick with my setup because I've been playing it like that for so long. But that's interesting. What do you guys think about that DLC for Mario Kart?
The one thing that like it kind of like, I don't know why they do, like they have Link and stuff, but like I don't know why they don't do like other characters. Like they don't have Samus. Like why? Like I know they're doing Animal Crossing, but I would think they would throw Samus in there, and I would really like if they did Pit. If they made Pit a racer, I would pick him. He would be my racer. But I don't know. It's just maybe like later on they'll do like more packs like this. Maybe like Pack 3 will be like a Metroid theme. I think it'll be cool because if they can bring in all these characters like Zelda and or Link and Animal Crossing Animal Crossing characters, why not just keep expanding forever and just...
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, this could like have potential to just keep adding new packs, and that'll be so awesome. Like it'll be like the definitive Mario Kart because it'll just have so much content in comparison to the other ones. Well, unfortunately, no one still plays the game, but
yeah, the community sucks in Mario Kart 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
7 was so much better, but I don't know, like I think these packs are good because they'll keep vitalizing the game. Like they don't have to make Mario Kart 9, to introduce these new characters. They could just keep adding to the game, adding more packs, adding more tracks, characters. Just keep making Mario Kart 8 so much better. I don't know. I could see them doing that, so.
Yeah, and I like that it'll also add like a new element because no one's played these tracks yet, so everyone's gonna have to get familiar with these tracks and all that, almost like playing a new game again, like playing Mario Kart 8 for the first time and trying to familiarize yourself with all these new tracks and vehicles and characters. So I think they should just keep expanding on it and just make this the definitive Mario Kart tone with all the DLC, because it's priced fairly. Like I think $12 for the 2 packs, you're talking a total of 6 characters, 8 vehicles, and 16 tracks. That's a lot of content for only $12.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be buying it.
that's worth it. Honestly, that's more content you get in Mario Kart than Capcom offers Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Yeah,
Honestly.
this is a good example of like how to do DLC because it like adds new things and it revitalizes the game, which I like. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, I think though, if they keep expanding it, like just introducing more packs, I think it makes a lot more sense because they're introducing those amiibo figures, like, and one of those figures is Kirby. Like, if you put Kirby in Mario Kart, that would be awesome. It would make total sense too.
No, I would play as Kirby if it was
Yeah,
me, that would be my character.
My characters would be between Kirby, Rosalina, and Pet, I swear to God. But I don't know, it would make sense. Like if they did like a Kirby pack from Mario Kart 8, it would make sense because there's a Kirby amiibo figure coming out. So it just makes sense too. And they actually, I don't know about any other stores, but they actually, Amazon announced you could pre-order these amiibo figures for, I think each figure goes for about $12.99 on Amazon, and there's 12 of them out right now. If top of my head, you get Peach, Mario, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, the Villager, Kirby. Help me out, guys. Who else you get?
I don't know if you name Link.
Yeah,
There's
Link, Donkey Kong.
Marth from Fire Emblem.
Right, Marth. The Wii Fit Trainer.
Oh man, that's the one I want. Wii Fit Trainer Amiibo.
I don't know, but yeah, Amazon just announced you could pre-order those things, which is kind of cool. You get an early jump start on getting those things. So.
Yeah, and that'll probably be good because they'll probably like sell out in stores and all that, and there'll like be none if you try and go find them the day they release or something. There'll probably be none.
Yeah.
Of that.
I think if you wait a little bit, they'll be everywhere in stores. Like I can go to Target right now and find almost any Disney Infinity character. So I don't know.
So guys, come on.
What?
Have you heard the other big Nintendo news, guys?
Oh, you mean
I mean the new news, like the newest news about the new. It's
shut
the
up.
newest thing around.
No.
And all the cool kids are gonna have it. But Nintendo announced the quote new 3DS. So have you guys seen this? This is really interesting.
I have seen this.
Yeah, so it's another iteration of the 3DS. It's got basically all the features of the Circle Pad Pro. So it's got like the Circle Pad, a second one, 2 more trigger buttons. It's got better face buttons. It's got improved 3D because before you had to like stay in the center of it. Now you can like kind of move it around. But the biggest thing is it's got a stronger CPU. And this is actually really interesting because it's actually going to be used and it's critical because one of the games they announced for it was Xenoblade Chronicles, exclusive to the new 3DS that's going to utilize a stronger CPU. And this is interesting because it means the possibility of like games that are exclusive only to the new 3DS that can only be played on the new 3DS. And I think they even mentioned they're like Xenoblade Chronicles is one, but we have several other titles in the works for the new 3DS. So it's almost like, in that sense, it's almost like a new console. Because essentially a console is like you own this to play specific games. If you want to play Xenoblade or any of these other games, you're going to need a new 3DS. So that's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to it, actually. It's got the Amiibo reader, too, so you'll be able to use that. It's, like, built in, but I was telling Clive, like, I wanted to upgrade my 3DS XL, like, literally a couple weeks ago, they announced this,
this is
and
perfect for you.
yeah, they announced this, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait and get this now. But what do you guys think about it? It's so interesting.
Well, here's the thing. See, like I have a 3DS XL already, and I'll tell you right now, I think this is a really good improvement. I really do. But I'm not going to buy this because I don't. It's not going to work the way it doesn't have the things I need at the moment. Like, yes, it has that second analog stick, which is fantastic, which is great, right? But I've never used the Circle Pad Pro on any of my 3DSs, so I don't need it. I don't have any games that require Circle Pad Pro. So like that nub thing, it's great that it's included, but I'm not looking for it. The only thing that I do think is kind of cool is the new 3D where it tracks your face. That's great. But again, I don't use 3D on my 3DS. I don't. I never turn it on. So like I don't know how useful that would be for me. The amiibo figure is great. How it reads the thing right on the lower screen. That's awesome because if you just have a normal 3DS or a 2DS, you're gonna need a special amiibo stand that connects to your 2DS or 3DS. So that's great. I think that'll be fantastic when I actually start getting amiibo figures. So all these new features, like I said, huge improvement. But I already have a 3DS XL. Nothing is convincing me to buy this new Nintendo one, except for the exclusive titles. Like, if I want to play Xenoblade on my 3DS, obviously I don't want to say forced, but I'm going to have to buy this new one. That's great, because I can play these fantastic games now on the new 3DS. So, I'm only going to buy this new system if I want to play those exclusive titles. And I'm mentioning this because this is also kind of like, to me, this is also the new 3DS's downfall. You're going to have a lot of people going into the store buying games like Xenoblade Chronicle, and they're going to be confused. Yes, they're going to have the old 2DS. Look at me, I already used the word old 2DS. But they're going to have the 2DS, they're going to have the 3DS, they're going to have the 3DS XL like I have, and they're not going to be able to play Xenoblade Chronicles. This is the only bad thing I really, really see with this system. And it's going to confuse a lot of people, you know?
They've done this before, actually, though.
They have, yeah.
If anyone remembers, there actually used to be Nintendo DSi games. There were only like a couple of them, but you could only play them if you had a DSi because it utilized the camera and whatnot. But I think they can solve that just by like rebranding them, because if you look at those games, it says like DSi, so it doesn't say DS, and it says only on DSi, and then it has like a red thing on the bottom that says this only plays on Nintendo DSi consoles. So they can do a similar thing like that just by, instead of saying Nintendo 3DS on the side, it'll say new Nintendo 3DS and then disclaimers like it only plays on this, and then a little banner at the bottom. And then at that point, most gamers, like, we'll know the difference. Like, we won't buy Xenoblade and thinking we can play it on our 3DS. The only people who still might be screwed is like, if, mom wants to buy her son a present, it's like, exactly. Oh, I'll buy Xenoblade for he has the 3DS, and then it doesn't work. But at that point, it becomes the job of the employee to kind of bring that up. So
that is true, yeah.
If it's like GameStop, it should be your job. Like, does your son have the new Nintendo 3DS? Because this won't work if he doesn't. So like that comes down to the employee too. So I think that is kind of an issue, but I think they can remedy it in a lot of different ways.
Honestly, I think employees at GameStop will automatically ask that question. Like,
yeah, they should. It should be part of the job.
I think that's common sense. Like, they'll make sure that you have it, because if they don't, they're gonna go back. The parents are gonna go back to the store, complain that you can't play it, and then the employee will have to explain, well, you obviously bought it for the wrong system. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna tell the parents right away, right when they purchase it, right there and then, that it'll only play on this new system. What I kind of think Nintendo should do, and I doubt they'll do this, is the games that are exclusive on this new console, they should make the case a different color.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. They should brand it a different color.
3DS has the white cases. Make the new 3DS make the cases, I don't know, green.
Blue, red.
green. Well, I wouldn't do blue because the Wii U is blue cases. And I wouldn't pick red because they've done red cases before. I would pick like a new color, like green or I don't know, yellow's kind of ugly. I don't know, any color, whatever. It's just whatever color you like. But I think they should do that, but I doubt they will. But yeah, they're gonna have to have something that says it only works on the new Nintendo 3DS. They got to put that on there. So
They will. And the interesting thing about that is the DSi games, the ones that were exclusive to DSi, they actually changed the color of the cartridge. If you ever seen one in person, those cartridges are actually white. They look like 3DS games, but they don't have the little hang tab. But they actually made them white. So
that's smart. That's really smart. So I don't know. Techno, what are your thoughts? Because you're kind of like against this whole thing, aren't you?
Well, I think the name's fucking stupid.
I agree.
But then again,
They should have called it Super 3DS. That's perfect. It's,
But remember, this is a company that wanted to call a system the Dolphin. And they called the Wii and named their iteration after that the Wii U, which still confuses a lot of people. So honestly, that's really nothing new. It's kind of to be expected that they would choose some strange names. I mean, imagine that. It's like, what have you been playing recently? Oh, some Super Mario Sunshine on the Dolphin, It's like, it's Nintendo.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't think they were going to call... I think that was just the code name, because the code name for the Game Boy Advance was the... what was it? The Arctic or some shit. No, it was something else. But yeah, I think that was just the code name. They weren't gonna
but it's still really stupid. But it's no different, honestly, than the Wii and the Wii U. Like that still confuses people.
That was dumb.
Yeah, but we gotten used to it, and it's the same thing here. Like once this comes out, we're just gonna get used to it. It's like the only thing is like if I told you guys like, hey guys, I bought a brand new 3DS XL. That would confuse you because you'd be like, wait, you got the new one? It's like, no. I got the regular 3DS XL. That's the thing I see right there. It's like, it's going to be confusing.
No, that's true because, like, especially with people who buy multiple systems. Like, I have a friend right now. He between the 3DS and the 3DS XL, he's on his 5th system. So if he says that, it's like, Clive, I bought the new 3DS XL. Cool. Did you, let's try the Amiibo thing. Oh, not that one. No, I just meant I got a brand new. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a little
I don't know. I think this new system is great. It's a great idea. The the exclusive titles, I think is gonna confuse a lot of people. But one thing we didn't mention is these things are going to have interchangeable faceplates.
The original one, not the XL model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. If you buy
also
original that has faceplates.
The original is the only one that has the Super Famicom buttons.
Yeah, and those are sweet. We're talking about the original new 3DS, not the original 3DS original. See, now we need to clarify.
Yeah, it's okay. This is the whole Xbox One thing again.
I love those Super Famicom buttons. I hope they make those because I love those colors.
That's kind of disappointing. So the new 3DS XL is not going to have interchangeable faceplates.
No, they showed it only on the original one.
That's really disappointing.
I would have liked faceplates, switch it up every now and then, but...
Right, yeah, I know.
I think they said they were going to cost, like, I don't know, $15 or around there in Japan. So if you buy the original new 3DS, you can change out the faceplate for the back of it and the top of it and change it out to different designs and whatnot.
That's cool, but see, I would think the average person would buy the XL.
Yeah, like me. Like, I'm upgrading. I'm going to get the XL. I'm not getting another smaller one that's the same size.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if only the normal, smaller, new 3DS... Look at all the words I'm using. Look at, the newer, smaller 3DS XL, whatever. If the smaller one is the only one that's going to be interchangeable, I don't think a lot of people are going to buy that because I would think the common person would buy the XL. It makes sense. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I still think this thing is a huge improvement. Like, honestly, my favorite system right now is the 3DS. I love it. It goes everywhere I go. I have tons of games for it. It's fantastic. I think this is a huge improvement. But I understand the backlash and the exclusive titles being the downfall. I totally understand that too.
Yeah, and the other thing is the price point in Japan is like the same, so it's not going to be more expensive. It's going to cost the same amount. I think they're just going to try and, well, they should push both of them, but when it comes out, it should be roughly around the same price. So that's good. That it's not like more expensive or something. And, yeah, the new 3DS, that's big news. But we also have other news, guys, right? It's that time. Oh boy.
Oh, good.
Oh, Techno, you're so excited. Start us off.
Oh, well, I got one news story. Way Forward is developing the next TMT game, Danger of the Ooze. That's what it's going to be called. And it will launch later this year on Xbox 360, PS3, and 3DS. That's kind of weird. It looks like it's a side-scrolling action adventure game that's kind of like what I've heard so far. It's going to be like a Metroid-like game where you have to search for items and all that good jazz. I don't like the freaking word Metroidvania. I hate that word. I hate it. So yeah. It will the game will slot in between seasons 2 and 3 of the current television show. And so yeah.
I'm kind of scared about this game because honestly, I picked up the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game based on that cartoon, and that thing sucked. Like, it was boring as hell. So I'm kind of scared about this new one because
Who made it?
the first one I don't know because as soon as I played it and beat it, I traded it in right away. I was just like, get this thing out of my house. So, but I don't know. It was just kind of boring. So like I don't know. I just hope this new one is good because I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and I want them to make a good game. You know, they don't have that many good games at all, really. Like Turtles in Time is still considered like the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game to date. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Well, I got a few news stories here. I got two of them. One's super quick, and this one is Mortal Kombat X, or 10, depending on what you want to call it, has a release date. It's going to be released worldwide April 14th, 2015 for the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and PC. No mention of GameCube or the Vita, which is kind of weird. I'm sorry, not GameCube. I mean Wii U.
I would have liked the GameCube version.
Wouldn't that be badass?
Yes, I want the GameCube version.
I would love to see how many people bought that on the GameCube if that was true. But yeah, it's no mention of the Vita, which is kind of weird. But I kind of understand maybe it'll be released later on the Vita,
Yeah.
As like like an Ultimate Edition,
Mhm.
like
Just like the last one.
and they did the same thing for Injustice as well.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it'll come out on the Vita later, and maybe the Wii U later. I don't know, but there's a lot of games that like just are released for these PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox 360, and no mention of the Wii U at all. So like I don't know. I don't understand why Wii U is getting kind of shafted on these games, but yeah. Anyway, it's coming out, like I said, April 14th, 2015, and they teased or announced an exclusive character, Goro. He's available for pre-order. I don't know where. I would assume GameStop's going to do something or Amazon's going to do something. So, but the character will be available from selected retailers depending on where you live. So I don't know if like GameStop is just going to do it for like, I don't know, the West Coast or something. I don't know. You know, like different places are going to be doing different things for Goro. So, but that's kind of neat that Goro's at least announced for the game. So, but my last news story here, and this was really kind of funny. I had to mention it. Microsoft cannot advertise Destiny for the Xbox, so it created a fragrance instead. Now, this is really funny. I'm literally just going to read this thing word for word because, I don't know, it's fantastic. Destiny has focused so much on the PS3 and the PlayStation 4 versions of the game, it almost feels that it's a PlayStation exclusive. At least that's how the marketing folks at Microsoft take it. So they've come out with this online campaign that packages Destiny as a new fragrance, like a cologne or perfume, by Xbox. Apparently getting around the fact that Microsoft does not have permission to run advertising for the highly anticipated game, which publishers Activision has invested over $500 million in. If you get clicking on the Discover More icon on the Destiny Fragrance website, promoted by the official Xbox UK Twitter account, leads you to a message that says, and this is in quotes, "Okay, here's the lowdown. Destiny is an epic new first-person shooter available on the Xbox. Thing is, we don't have permission to run adverts for this game, so we didn't. Thanks for smelling that something was up. Now get the game and just become a legend." That is literally what the website says. So, as well as being the focus of Destiny's advertising campaign, Sony PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 consoles are also getting a bonus in-game content thanks to an agreement between Sony and developer Bungie. PlayStation gamers will get an exclusive multiplayer pack, a strike mission, 3 sets of armor, 2 weapons, and 2 spacecrafts. Destiny will also get an exclusive alpha testing period for the PlayStation 4, and a first test of its public beta went to PlayStation gamers. Now this is from Bungie. Despite being a close relationship with Sony, Bungie stresses that it loves the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, as well as the Xbox One and Xbox 360 equally. I really just think that's the story is just weird, very, very weird, because it really just seems that the Destiny is favoring the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 so much more, and that the fact that Microsoft literally had to make this weird fragrance campaign, just saying, hey, it's going to be on the 360 too. Hey, it's going to be on the Xbox One too. Isn't that weird? I don't know. I just find that this whole thing really just weird.
I was really curious about that because I noticed that every time I saw advertisements for Destiny on TV or whatever, it's always PlayStation 4, greatness awaits or whatever their campaign is. And I was curious. I was like, how can they never advertise this Xbox? Right? It felt like an exclusive to PlayStation, but now I understand that. And that's them. They had to come up with some way to advertise it. They couldn't just sit back because this is going to be a huge game. This is going to sell a lot of copies, so they needed to do something for advertisers. So big ups to them because it's a fragrance, so it's something that's weird, but it's weird in the way that it catches people's eye. What the hell? Destiny cologne or something, and you're going to click on it and find out what it is, and then they get their advertisements across in a very different way. So.
Yeah, I just find it weird that Microsoft seriously does not have permission to run any advertising about this game. They can't. They just can't do it. And I don't know, it's so weird. If it's coming out on both systems, or both companies are getting this game, well, why not? It's just, you put a simple Xbox logo right next to the PlayStation logo, and there you go. I don't know.
Sony might have paid something or someone to get some exclusivity.
Probably, yeah, maybe. But I don't know, it's just weird, Sony's getting all these exclusive items, like I just mentioned, the weapons, the spacecrafts, the armor. It's weird. Xbox is getting like nothing, which is weird because I plan on getting this for the 360.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The big question is, what does this smell like?
what
I'm
is
guessing.
this
I'm
smell
guessing
like?
apple cinnamon,
You know what? I'm gonna go with a spiced grape.
spice grape. Techno's thinking like hamburger, hamburger smell.
What? I don't know. What does Destiny smell like to you, Techno?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You can think of a flavor. How about Taco Bell?
Taco Bell flavor. That's exactly what Destiny smells like.
Shit.
Could you imagine opening up the game case and getting that, instead of getting that new game smell, you just smell tacos?
Smells like a chalupa.
I'm like, this smells great.
Techno would love that. He probably wants like Taco Bell smell for all his games.
Dude, I would love that. Are you kidding me?
Mm. Oh, they should do like scratch and sniff game cases. Like what do you smell like? Remember
Honestly,
scratch and sniff?
that's what I thought about when I was reading this story. I'm like, is this going to be like a scratch and sniff kind of thing? Like, it's only going to be on Xbox games? I don't know. It's just weird. That's what I thought this was. And then it's like, oh no, this is like some fake cologne or perfume that they're supposedly advertising. It's weird. But that's all my news stories really is Mortal Kombat X and the new fragrance of Destiny. So,
Very nice. Well,
how about you, Dan?
I got a couple news stories. So Tokyo Game Show's kind of currently happening, or it's going to be happening soon, and I honestly look forward more to Tokyo Game Show than E3 just because it has a bunch of games that get announced that I personally care about. And there was a couple. Sony had like a pre-Tokyo Game Show, so this wasn't even their main conference, but it was a pre-conference, but they announced a shit ton of stuff, but 3 games in particular really caught my eye. And that was a new Dragon Quest game called Dragon Quest Heroes. And this is a really interesting game. It looks like a Dynasty Warriors kind of style Dragon Quest game. It's got all the Dragon Quest characters. It has like a video where it's like all these monsters, just waves of monsters, and they're like attacking them Dragon Quest style with these epic moves, defeating tons of enemies. But since it is based off Dragon Quest, it's not necessarily a Warriors game because like Hyrule Warriors is a Warriors game because it's based off of that, and normally they call them Warriors and all that. There's the Gundam ones, which are like Gundam Dynasty Warriors games, but they're not calling it Warriors or anything, because I'm guessing since it is based off RPG that it's going to have some kind of RPG elements, so it's not going to be like a full-on Dragon Quest game. Maybe it has some like leveling up mechanics or like equipment stuff and different kind of RPG mechanics. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But it looked really gorgeous. Like the cutscene for it was just beautiful. Has some new characters, and I guess they have like different abilities and whatnot. But that was really interesting. Like I wasn't expecting something like this. I never thought I'd see Dragon Quest in this kind of style. But oh well, if only Square Enix actually cared about the series to bring out the games. We're still waiting for Dragon Quest 7 and Dragon Quest 10, guys. Anytime when you want to stop, the Final Fantasies and Kingdom Hearts and maybe bring out a Dragon Quest game. That would be really nice.
I could be wrong, but wasn't there something that like people were starting a petition for Dragon Quest 7 for the 3DS?
Yeah, they probably just wanted to come out because they haven't. Square Enix hasn't announced any plans to bring out Dragon Quest 7 on the 3DS.
Okay, yeah, I thought I saw like a petition online or something. So
yeah, it's probably for that. Just like they were petitioning to get Dragon Quest 10 stateside too. It's just, man, what happened? Like the DS had like all those wonderful Dragon Quest games, and it's like even the Monsters Joker. Like there was so many games, and then like 3DS comes around and the Wii U, and it's like Square Enix was like, nope, we're done. They just checked out. Like I guess the fans don't need this anymore in the West. It's unfortunate.
I don't know. Well, they are releasing the Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm on the 3DS, so they're not totally dissing Nintendo in that way, but
no, not Nintendo. It's just like what happened in that time frame, like what
I
happened
get
from bringing out all these wonderful Dragon Quest games to all of a sudden just not, and now they're sitting on Dragon Quest 7, Dragon Quest 10, and they're going to be sitting on Dragon Quest Heroes, which is like 3 Dragon Quest games, and are they going to bring any of these out? I would like to see Dragon Quest Heroes come out, and this is confirmed for the Japan spring 2015. It's going to be on the PlayStation 4 actually, and the PlayStation 3. So that's really interesting.
Wow, so it's not going to be on Xbox at all, huh?
No. So it could be a sign that maybe, because remember, Dragon Quest VIII came out on the PlayStation 2 back in the day. So maybe, and Dragon Quest 7 was on the PlayStation 1. So maybe they're going back to Sony. A little.
Well,
That'd be interesting.
that kind of makes sense. Most of the Kingdom Hearts games are on Sony.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Yeah, that'll be a Sony exclusive. So in Japan, that's coming out. So that's interesting. No one really expected a Dragon Quest Dynasty Warriors kind of game. But man, that seems to be a trend, like Hyrule Warriors, the Gundam Warrior games. It's just, people really like these Dynasty Warriors games. I've never been a big fan of them personally, but
neither have I, but I would honestly love to, kill like 100 slimes that
yeah,
are
they
around
showed
me.
like tons of slimes and like king slimes. I'm like, I could get down with this.
I know, that would be totally badass, too.
That would be fun. Another big announcement, guys. One of my favorite action RPG series, like ever. It's just a definitive series. It's so fucking good. Wonderful series. Gameplay is wonderful. Music is amazing. Out of nowhere, I was not expecting this. A new Ys game is in the works for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. I was like, what? Like, at first I thought I was looking at, like, Ys Celceta, and I thought they were going to, like, port Ys Celceta, because it showed them in, like, a forest right away. I was like, oh, that kind of looks like Ys Celceta, because Celceta, you spend a lot of time in the forest. I was like, but then they're like, oh, it's a new game, and it's like PlayStation 4. That's the thing that catches me off guard, is PlayStation 4. That is really interesting. There hasn't been an Ys game on a console since the PlayStation 2 with Ark and the Piston. And that's awesome to see Ys coming back to the console, because I personally like to play the consoles more. And like, even when I played through the PSP games, I played them on my PSP 3000 hooked up to my TV with component cables, so I played them like a console game. But it's awesome to see like an Ys game that's like genuinely going to be playable on the console and still available on the handheld too. Graphically, I doubt it's going to be that impressive on the PlayStation 4. It's probably just going to look like a really pretty version of the Vita, because it looks like it was designed for the Vita. But still, it's cool to have it on a console finally in like physical format, so that's going to be cool. It looked really good, like visually it looks great. They showed him going around with like dinosaurs and shit and like attacking dinosaurs. They look like they were in a forest, but then they're in like a beachy area for a bit. I don't think it has an official title yet. Right now it's just called Ys. It's just like a working title. So no confirmation yet if it's a completely new Ys game, like it's Ys 8, which would be the new one, or it could be a remake, because people would want a remake of, what is it, Kefkin, Kingdom of Sand or whatever. They made a remake like that, kind of like what they did with Celceta, but I think it's going to be a new Ys game. It looks like a new Ys game. I saw some new characters as well, so it's probably still going to have that kind of character mechanic where you can switch between them, which they've done in the newer Ys games. But that's awesome. That'll be coming to PS4 and Vita in 2015 as well, so a lot of awesome games coming out next year. But guys, this is a big one. Finally, we've been waiting for a long time for this, ever since all we had was like a picture of like chairs and like a ball and chain. But we finally have an actual trailer for Persona 5, an animated trailer which showcases the new protagonist. We can see the actual protagonist for once. He looks like he's actually in his 20s. He actually looks older. He doesn't look like he's in high school. He looks like he's maybe in college or something. But he has like this long kind of scruffy black hair. He's wearing glasses, like these black glasses. It's a very short clip, so we still really don't know a whole lot. We just know what the character looks like. It's a 50-second kind of clip. It shows him on a train for a bit, and then he gets off of the train, and he's like in kind of what looks like Akihabara or something. It looks like it's taking place in Japan, obviously, which makes sense. But there's tons of people walking in, then it looks like time freezes, and then this like demon starts to manifest. So it's almost like that thing where, like in Persona 3, the characters were special because they could stay awake during the dark hour and fight demons and whatnot. So it's probably another similar thing where for some reason this kid has a special ability to remain awake when like time freezes, and he can see this kind of creature, this demon. It was interesting though because it appeared like in broad daylight and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all we have to go off of. We just basically finally know what the character looks like, the main protagonist. And I was trying to really dissect the trailer, look for any little things I could find. He seems to be wearing like a nice kind of school uniform. He's got like a little emblem on it. And I'm wondering if it's a similar thing where in Persona 3 they called it SEES. and they were a special team that could fight demons and whatnot. So maybe there's a special organization in Persona 5 who handles the fighting of these demons. But yeah, like the thing that caught me off guard was the thing with Persona 3, Persona 4, and even Persona 2. They were all usually high school students. They usually take place during high school. They're relatively young. But if you look at this trailer, he actually does look older. So I wonder if the cast of characters is going to be older. It doesn't look like he's a high school student at all, because it shows him sitting next to this like older man, and he kind of looks roughly as old as that guy. So I'm guessing it might be taking place during college, which would be interesting. Because it's still, I would guess it's still going to have that social sim aspect that was in there with Persona 4 and Persona 3. Because like in the first trailer, it showed those like desks, and those desks are like really academic. It shows that like it's a school setting. It kind of implies that. So that kind of also implies that they're still going to have that social sim aspect. I just want more. Atlas is being really, really good about not releasing a whole lot of information, but at least we know what the character looks like, and there's already like a shit ton of fan art. Like there's so much fan art already for the Persona 5 character. It's wonderful. But the big news with this is everyone thought it was going to be a PlayStation 3 exclusive. Now it's just a Sony exclusive because it's been confirmed that this is actually going to come out on the PlayStation 4 as well, which doesn't really make any sense because this game isn't really like a graphical powerhouse kind of game, you know? It's more of a artistic game. It's got aesthetics. It's like anime, so it's not really going to utilize that extra power, but if people have a PS4, this is an option to buy Persona 5 on the PS4 as well. And I thought this game was supposed to come out this year, but I guess they pushed it back, which was no surprise really. So it has a really vague release date of sometime in 2015. I just really hope it's not like late 2015, because if it is, then that means we're probably not going to see this game. Yeah,
2015.
If it is, then that means we're not going to see it in the West till like 2016, which, god damn it, I just want Persona 5 already. But I'm happy to finally see some visuals. I was so excited when they unveiled this trailer. I was like, oh my god, Persona 5. But now I just want more. Like, I want to see the rest of the characters. And, Atlas has a lot of work on their hands. But this is going to be a huge game when this fucking releases. This will just occupy the JRPG community for so long. And, it's amazing. Like, I still have a hard time believing this game exists. Like, it's been so long. Persona 4 came out a while ago, if you're going by the PS2 version, which was the original. It's been a while. It's almost like 5-6 years that we've been waiting for Persona 5, so it's finally coming, and I like how the protagonist looks. He looks okay. Looks like your typical anime kind of character. But yeah, looking forward to more information from that, but that's all my news. So guys, you want to jump into questions?
Sure, we have two questions. Actually, we have three questions from two people. Our first question is from Jamal. He simply asks, who would you like to see in the Pokemon Fighter game? You guys know about this game?
Yeah.
Okay. So who would you like to see in the Pokemon Fighter game?
Charmander. And Ditto.
You know?
Metapod. There should be a fucking Easter egg in that game where you can select Metapod versus Metapod, and it just does nothing for like a 3-bit hit.
What, and let the timer run out?
No, it just says like Metapod use Harden. Metapod's defense can't go any higher, and it just keeps saying that. That would be brilliant. Oh man,
No.
the epic showdown between the Metapods.
Did they show Hitmonlee?
I've only seen Hitmonchamp. No,
Machamp, yeah.
Machamp and Lucario. Those are the only ones I've seen.
Well, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee.
Yeah, those make sense.
Yeah, they're fighters.
I heard Blaziken's in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense too.
See, that's the thing. I don't want this game to be like jam packed with like fighter Pokemon. You know, like another example would be Primeape or Infernape. Like those have fighting moves.
Yeah, they should put Lord Helix in there. Phase the Helix.
I don't know. To answer Jamal's question though, I think you should put Snorlax in the game and have his moveset kind of like resemble like how fat he is. Like maybe like attack with his stomach. You know, kind of like a sumo wrestler type of thing.
Yeah, like there is a character in Tekken I think his name is Bob.
Yep. It's
And
Bob.
he's a big, yeah. And
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
he
the-
use his stomach?
I think so. I think he's more of a boxer, but I think he does use his stomach in some moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they put like Snorlax in the game, where like he just uses his weight as his his moveset, I think that would be kind of cool and fascinating. So that's the thing. I guess you could put like maybe Cubone or Marowak in there.
Yeah.
Have a Pokemon that has like some sort of weapon.
I'd like to see like a Scyther or a Scizor.
Yeah.
A slash type
Scizor.
character.
Mhm.
Fast, he'd probably be like a fast character. That would be cool.
Yeah, see that's the thing. This thing would be filled with like fighter Pokemon.
Yeah, it's weird because you want Pokemons that kind of make sense in a fighting game. Like, you're not going to put Klefki in there, the keychain Pokemon. Like, oh no, he's going to jingle his keys at you.
Well, like you couldn't put Charizard in there because like he has wings. What are you gonna do? Like fly with him?
Yeah, flying
Oh.
Pokemon would be weird.
But I don't know. Let's see, who else would you put? See, like you couldn't really put Gyarados in there either. I don't know.
I can't think of anything else.
See, I'm trying to think of Pokemon that are not fighters, like Blastoise or something. I don't know.
Typhlosion.
Yeah.
I can see like a Tyranitar too.
No, I think you could if you put Staryu or Starmie in the game that would work because like you could shoot projectile like water projectiles, and then maybe give him like a moveset where he spins around, and like attacks with his different like the triangle shapes of the star. That could probably work. Maybe. I'm trying to think who else. Maybe Muck.
I could see that like with some interesting moves where he like goes underground or something, or transforms into a puddle and then he has like,
Yeah.
random moves. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, because
Trying to think of like creative movesets. Kind of.
See, I was kind of thinking like Ditto too, but not Ditto, Diglett. But I don't know. He doesn't really have any arms or anything. So
Porygon.
see, well, Porygon's kind of a fighter too, but
That is
he does have
normal
water.
type.
He does have water attacks too. I mean, not Porygon. I was thinking Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl.
Like,
Poliwhirl.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking about.
Poliwrath.
Poliwrath. You guys notice that we're all like listing off like Gen 1 Pokemon?
Yeah.
That's Gen. I've been stressing it forever. Gen 1 or TFO.
You could probably put Greninja in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The new water Pokemon.
I would be surprised if that's not in there.
Yeah.
You know they're probably gonna just throw Pikachu in there just for the hell of it.
Probably.
I think Raichu would probably be a better choice though, because then he has a longer tail, so you could like balance him on his tail. I think that
Heracross.
Heracross would work too.
Jigglypuff. Some singing moves. I don't know, there's a lot of possibilities. They got a lot of Pokemon to choose from.
Yeah.
Couple of several hundred.
Alright, well we got Nick Knack. He has two different questions. The first one, he asks if you guys had the opportunity to make any three people or things take the ice bucket challenge, whether they be real life people, people who are already dead, or people who are fictional, such as like people from video games, comics, anime, etc., which three people would you tag?
I have no idea.
You better not say Charmander. Poor thing will die.
I wasn't gonna say Charmander. if you remember, I like Charmander.
Yeah, you're the good one. You have good taste.
You know what? I'm gonna pick Cammy because
Yes.
I know. Yeah, so I'm gonna go.
Chun-Li, Jury, Cammy.
You're just gonna go with three Street Fighter women?
Can I just get the
Boom.
dead or
No,
alive
no,
girls?
no. All the dead are alive.
Yeah, in white tank tops
Every-
with nothing
Yep.
underneath. What?
Yep.
That's my pick. Done. Easy. It's homie. Oh, it's homie waifu.
You know what? Okay, so Cammy, Harley Quinn, and this one I'm just gonna, because I want to, Ben Franklin. Done.
Damn.
Are you going with the three Street Fighter women?
I would choose Kasumi, Yoko from Gurren Lagann, and Ranma because he would turn into a girl.
See that? See what he did there? See, he those are 3 smart choices. Thinking outside the box with Rama, I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well, see, I was looking at my anime fucking collection, and I was like, Ranma, that's like perfect.
Alright, well, Nick has one final question, and his question is, this question is a 3-parter. Alright, so let's get these. He says, what was the last time you used a cheat code on a video game? What was the video game, and what did the cheat code do?
I remember. It's kind of cheating, though, because I used the action replay. But I didn't even notice. I had the action replay for my Sega Saturn, right? And it's got all these pre-programmed cheats, and I was just going through them. And I went to Daytona USA, because I had Daytona USA. And I was looking through them, I'm like, okay, wait a second, what the fuck? So, like, something caught my eye right away, and I turned it on. So it's basically a cheat code to transform the car or to unlock a new vehicle, and this new vehicle is a horse. So you can use a horse in Daytona USA, and that is the last thing I use. It doesn't change the car, it just adds, like, this option to choose, like, a horse. And I chose the horse, and the thing is, like, super fucking cheap because it's, like, so fast. Like, it's faster than, like, all the other fucking cars. It has great handling. It's just amazing. It was incredible. I was like, oh my god, this is the best way to play Daytona USA. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. Just a horse running around the track. Oh, and he can also go off-road. Like, so you can cut through the grass and it doesn't slow him down. So I was cheating a lot. So it was pretty great. Wonderful. That was fucking funny.
I think for my answer, I'm going to go with Dan too. I use the action replay. And I used to use it for the Yu-Gi-Oh! DS games to unlock all the cards and get like 3 copies of each card, because the way how the game worked is to build your deck, you had to play against people within the game to get money or get packs from them. And just like opening real life packs, you open the pack and you see what you get. Well, screw that. I wanted to play with the deck that I actually made, in real life. So I used the action replay to unlock every card and get 3 copies of each card so I could make my physical deck in the game and use that to battle online with people, because I didn't want to go through the hassle of playing the single-player campaign to earn enough money to buy packs, and maybe because there was no guarantee I would get the cards in the packs that I wanted. So I think that was the last time.
I think my last time was with the Dreamcast. I always do this when playing Crazy Taxi. Whenever you're choosing a driver, you hold your L and R buttons down, and then let go of L, and then let go of R, and then hold them both in again, and then let both of them go, and then select your character, and it will a bicycle bell will ring, and you get the bicycle, which is fast as fuck.
Alright, well that's all our questions, so we only have 3 this week, and they were kind of cool. I liked them. Very unique questions. So, you guys wanted to get in games we've been playing?
Oh yes.
Alright, go first, Dan, because
you said it.
You said it.
Yep.
What? Okay. So, guess what, guys? I actually beat Tales of Exilia 2. Yay.
Already?
Yeah, I beat it probably within like a week and a half. Like, I was playing it for maybe I'm talking 6 to 8 hour sessions. It's hard to stop. But man, it actually got really, really good at the end. It's a good game, and it's a game that's obviously geared towards the fact that you played the original, because you kind of need to play the original to be familiar with all the characters and all these environments and whatnot. But the story just got super interesting towards the end, and I mentioned before, this game has an emphasis on making choices, because the protagonist is a kind of silent character. So during these kind of sequences and just randomly, you'll have to make choices a lot. And towards the end, you had to make some really, really powerful choices that were really strong. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. I almost teared up towards the end, but it was a beautiful ending, and I kind of saw it coming, but it got really interesting towards the end. I loved it. It's a great game. If you played the original, I highly recommend it. It's great. I didn't find all the kitties. I don't think I did. There's a lot of kitties, and I couldn't find them all.
Oh, you're gonna have to go back.
Probably felt like maybe 50 or something. This game's terrible if you're a completionist. There's a shit ton of stuff to do because, like I mentioned before, you're paying off your debt constantly because you owe debt for like your medical bills because someone saves you. So you have to pay off this like $20 million debt, which I think is an achievement if you pay it off or something probably. But like to do that, you got to earn money by doing job requests and whatnot. And I did a lot of that because a lot of the jobs you can unlock special attachments and like costumes and stuff like that. So anyone who's familiar with Tales of knows they love having like just a huge variety of costumes or strange, weird attachments to add to your character and whatnot. So I did that. I also, because I, like when I'm really liking a game, what I'll do is like I'll purposely prevent beating the game if that makes any sense. So like I'll prolong it. So I kind of did this because like I knew the end was coming. Like I knew the final showdown was gonna happen, and because all the characters were like talking about it, I'm like, I don't want to beat the game yet. So what I did was for a while, they have these like really strong monsters. They're called like elite monsters, and I went around and killed every single elite monster. So that was fun. But then after I beat the game, I found out that hey, there's now those elite monsters are back, but now they're even stronger. It's like, oh great. But it was great. There's also a kind of spoiler, I guess, not really, but there's an extra dungeon. Like pretty much every RPG, there's an extra dungeon after you beat the game, and that extra dungeon is super interesting. Actually, you get to fight some really interesting fights. I'll say that, and you can unlock rewards in there. It's really interesting, but there's replayability too once you beat this game. But I loved it. I loved the aspect that they tried something different with like a silent protagonist and these almost Mass Effect style choices, these like really strong choices. It was really great, and the story was really interesting. But since I beat that, I really wanted to go back to this game because I mentioned a while back I was playing this, but I got sidetracked by trying to play Tales of Xillia 2 and then finishing the Guided Fate Paradox, so I put this on the back burner, but now I'm back into this game completely, and that's Blue Dragon on the 360. I've been delving back into that. I'm like on the second disc now. I would say I'm probably halfway through the game now. And it's actually really, really good. Like, it's one of those games that just kind of grows on you the more you play it. Like, it looks super fucking pretty considering it's like a game that came out in 2007, which is ridiculous. But, like, all the character design, like, enemy design, everything just screams like Dragon Quest, which makes sense because Akira Toriyama's on it, and it was responsible for a lot of the design. So it looks like it has that like creative enemy design. There's like really interesting enemies. It just has a lot of charm about it. But then it has like that old school Final Fantasy style with like the job class system and like leveling up specific job classes to get different skills for the jobs. So it's really good. I mean, like, I recommend it totally if you love traditional turn-based RPGs. If you're a fan of, like, Dragon Quest, I would say for sure do yourself a favor, check this game out. I think you'll be pleasantly at home with this game. And if you're a fan of, like, older Final Fantasies, for sure. The only downfall, and some people might not even view this as a downfall, is if you like challenging RPGs, this isn't it. It's a very easy RPG. You won't have too much of a struggle. I think I've only died once in the whole game, and I died to like a boss that everyone was talking about online because I looked it up. I was having a hard time with it, and everyone said that this boss was like the hardest boss in the whole game. But then after that, like every single boss, I kicked their ass. I didn't really have too much of a problem. I leveled up and I got like certain skills from different job classes, so like I would recommend for sure leveling up your whole team. I think it's called Generalist. It's just like a general kind of job. I recommend leveling up everyone in that so you can get like a thing that's called Skill Plus 4, which gives you a total of 8 skill slots to equip different benefactors from other skills. And then I recommend also leveling up as a Sword Master for everyone to get a skill called Absorb HP. And that basically, like now I'm like super OP in this game. Like I'm just having a cakewalk because now anytime I deal damage because of Absorb HP, I recover. So like usually whenever they damage me, I'll just attack and then I'll recover whatever they damaged me for. So they have a really hard time beating me. And then because of all these like additional skills I have, like I'm just unstoppable right now. Like I'm doing so much damage. So it's a very easy RPG. So some people might not see that as a downfall, but like I do like some challenge. You know, I don't want it to be a complete cakewalk. I feel like it's like gripping in like an epic battle, but usually I really haven't had a single problem with any boss in this game except for one. And all the fights have been super easy, so it's an easy RPG. So I don't know if people want like a kind of more casual RPG, maybe just to kind of breeze through. That's significantly long. It's like a 60, 70-hour RPG. I would say check this out, especially if you like Dragon Quest and early Final Fantasy. So going through that, I'll probably keep trying to go through that. The other one I mentioned was I picked up Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair for the PS Vita. And this is a sequel to the other one, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which also came out this year in like March. And I love that game. That game was just wonderful. It's easily probably one of the best games you can get on the PS Vita. Definitely, I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's easily probably my game of the year so far. I don't think anything really comes close to what a gripping game that was and what a different game. Like it was a breath of fresh air in this kind of oversaturated gaming industry. But it's just so interesting. So obviously I was anticipating the sequel, and I've been playing that probably about 5-ish hours in there. And if you're not familiar with this game, it's a mystery style adventure. It's got this kind of gripping tale that it's not really a spoiler because everyone kind of knows by now. It's based off like a killing game. It's an elaborate killing game where in the first one, in order to escape this trap school, you had to murder people. And now this takes place on like a deserted island, and so it's got like this tropical feel, and you're on these abandoned islands. And in order to escape from these islands, you have to murder people and get away with it. And you have to get away with it because once someone's murdered, they have like a full-on investigation. It goes on into this investigation period. And then you have a class trial, and you have like this huge debate to try and figure out who the actual murderer is. But it's an interesting thing. But then it balances that, like, really honestly, really mature, and some of the imagery in the first one was really, really brutal. But it balances this really mature game with, like, this really campy and fucking hilarious at times, just brilliant dialogue. It's just a brilliant game all around. The characters are fucking awesome. And this one's more of the same. It's kind of point-and-click style adventure, too, but I would say it's more of the same so far. I haven't got to the first murder yet, which I know is inevitable, but I'm really liking this cast of characters. I would say so far I kind of prefer the first cast of characters in the original, but the story is kind of playing out in a very similar way. It's just now it's in like this deserted island. So I'm curious to keep playing through it to see if it's very different story-wise, hopefully, from the original, which is what I'm hoping for. So I'll definitely keep playing that. And before the podcast, because I picked this game up because it was only like $3 on the PSN, but it's called Under Defeat HD. And this is a shmup, and if you're familiar with the Dreamcast, like, in Japan, the Dreamcast had games coming out really, really late, actually. Like, it was already dead in America, but Japan was, like, still supporting it. And
it was supported till 2007.
Yeah, and some of those last games came in, like, DVD cases, actually, which is interesting. But, like, this is actually one of those. It was, like, one of the last commercially released Dreamcast games. Under Defeat, there was, like, Under Defeat, Triggerheart, Exelica, which were all like shmups. There was nothing but shmups at the end. But Under Defeat, Triggerheart, Exelica, and all these other shmups that were coming out. And it's also an arcade game. So this is basically an HD version of this game for the PS3. And it's an interesting shmup because it's like military based, but the interesting catch to it is that you don't always shoot forward. You have this interesting mechanic to be able to maneuver your ship or like helicopter, and you can shoot at an angle, like a really sharp angle. So you can shoot at like a 45-degree angle, maneuver it, almost like a dual-stick shooter where you move around and control like where you're shooting. So you can like really do some elaborate kind of shooting. And it comes into play because some bosses, you kind of have to use these like angled shots and kind of angle your shots properly. So that's really interesting, actually. It adds just another element. It's actually a really hard game because usually when they remake shmups nowadays, they usually give you the option to do like unlimited continues, you know, and just like breeze through the game. This game doesn't. Like, it's brutal. It just gives you 2 credits and whatever the stock lives are, and once you're done with those 2 credits, that's it. So you don't get unlimited continues. So it's like arcade difficulty. And because of that, I haven't been able to clear it. I've gotten to like stage 4, and I think there's 5 stages, and I keep dying at the stage 4 boss. and these bosses are like these really long fights, but it's wonderful. It's an interesting, different kind of shmup. It's really quality. It's got some fucking awesome music. The soundtrack is just, oh, so good. Like any typical quality shmup, it's just got a rockin' soundtrack. So hopefully play through that and hopefully try and beat this game, but I don't know, it doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't give you that unlimited continue, so you gotta like play really, really intensely and try and get through it. It's got the arcade mode in it. It's got like an updated PS3 mode where it's usually like this. It's a vertical scrolling shmup, so it only takes up like a part of the screen. But in the PS3 mode, it actually completely like elongates it, so it makes it widescreen with like updated visuals where it takes up the whole screen. So that's really cool. But that's all I've been playing. So what about you guys?
Well, I've been playing a shit ton of Smash Brothers Project M. My God. Like, I usually play as Marth. And, you know, I'm like, dude, Marth is a badass. And so, but, you know, when I get together with friends, we usually, you know, play with our, you know, normal characters that we usually play as. And then we say, hey, let's choose someone else, you know. Everyone choose someone different. And I chose Ganondorf, and I fell in love with him. I love Ganondorf. He's so awesome. He's pretty much a stronger Captain Falcon. He's slower, but he's stronger than Captain Falcon. Whooping ass. And since this is September, this is Dreamcast month, and I have fully beaten Resident Evil 2. I went through Leon's story recently, Monday, Labor Day, and beat it. I beat it in 9 hours. Oh yeah. And what else have I played? I played a little bit of Resident Evil 4 on Steam, and yeah, I think that's probably about it.
Alright. Well, I've been playing, first of all, I want to say this. I'm so glad the PlayStation 3 is region-free. I am so glad because I picked this game up because I could play it on my PS3 without modding my system in any way, shape, or form. I've been playing Doctor Who, the Eternity Clock on that system, and this game, the best way to describe this game, it's a platformer puzzle game. Basically, what you do is you play as two different characters, the first being the Doctor, the second being River Song. These are two characters from the TV show. And first off, this has a whole bunch of characters from the TV show, from the Daleks, from the Cybermen, from the Silence, from, I forget what kind of alien they are, but they're like lizard people. So anyone who's a fan of this Doctor Who TV show like I am will probably really, really love this game. The gameplay itself, it's kind of simple, not gonna lie. But like I said, it's like a platform puzzle game where you gotta control either the Doctor or River Song going through these levels, solving different puzzles to either open a door, flip a switch, lower a platform, or use both characters to generally do the same thing. And the puzzles themselves are generally simple puzzles, from basically flipping switches till all the lights are green, so it opens the door, to matching wavelengths to, again, open a door or do something. Or like there's another puzzle where you gotta like slide tiles around. So they're basically very generic puzzles. So I don't really recommend it for the puzzle aspect of this game. I mainly just recommend this game because if you like Doctor Who, you're gonna enjoy it. It's filled with Doctor Who references, characters, villains, monsters, and everything else. The game is very short. I beat it in maybe 5.5 hours. Very, very short game. But it's a good game. I like I said, I've already recommended to Doctor Who fans. I do not recommend it if you're looking for a puzzle game in any sort of way, because the puzzles are ridiculously easy. I think I only had a hard time on like one early puzzle, and that's because I didn't know how the instructions worked for that particular puzzle. So I've been playing that. Like I said, it's a good game. The next game I've been playing, and I'm probably going to get this title wrong. This is a Blaze Blue game that I downloaded on the 3DS eShop. It's Blaze Blue Clone Phantasium. And what this game is, it's a game with Blaze Blue's characters, but it's not a fighting game, not at all. Basically, what this game is you pick one out of I would say like maybe 12 characters, and it's best way to describe this game. It's like horde mode, where waves and waves and enemies come at you, and your main objective is to simply knock them off the edge of this platform that you'll be standing on, and that's generally it. Really, you just fight all waves and waves of enemies, knocking them off this platform through various levels. Each character's story has about, I want to say about 9 different levels, 9 or 10 different levels, and this game, I think I paid $7.99 on the eShop, and I don't know if I recommend this game. It's a good time waster. It really is. If you have maybe 5-10 minutes to kill, you could simply beat somebody's story mode. Once you beat someone's story mode, it unlocks different things for your art gallery, things like that. It's not too much in depth. There is like a challenge mode. I haven't put that much time into it, so I can't really say anything about it. But the best way I can describe this game, it's a good time waster game. It's horde mode, just fighting random enemies, knocking them off platforms. It's a pretty good game. I think $7.99 might be a little high for that, but it's alright. I enjoyed it for what it was. Another game I downloaded on the 3DS Nintendo eShop is this game is called Qbert, the hardcore platformer robot. And basically what this game is you play as a little robot who's constantly running forward. That's it. He just runs forward, and every single button on the 3DS is a jump button. Every single one. So what you do is this little character, little robot, he will just continuously run, and you have to press the jump button to jump from platform to platform. You can double jump to reach higher platforms, but that's generally it. You just try to get this little robot through each level, who's, like I said, he's just constantly running. And I described this game to a friend of mine, and she said this sounds just like what's that game? Bit Trip Runner? Is that the game?
Mm-hmm. It's an endless runner where you constantly move and you just jump.
Okay. I've never played that, but yeah, that's exactly what you do in this game. Is you constantly run and you just jump. That's all you do. And this game, it's on the 3DS eShop for $2.99, and it's well worth it. It really is, because it's super addicting, and the times where you're gonna fall and get killed, it's gonna happen a lot. I kid you not, and there's actually a little counter that counts how many times you die. The highest I got was like 141, because you die, and it's so addicting that it's like, I can do better. I know I can get past this. I know I can do it. It's another time waster game, but it's well worth it for like $2.99. So I really do recommend Qbit. It's spelled Qubit, the hardcore platformer robot. Well worth it for $2.99. Awesome game. And the last game I want to mention is I just downloaded it before the podcast, and this is actually just a demo. It's the Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Calls demo for the 3DS. It's kind of cool. It only has 2 songs that you could play in the demo. One song is from Final Fantasy VI. The other song is from Final Fantasy Advent Children, the movie. And basically, each song has 3 different difficulties. Easy, hardcore, and ultimate. Ultimate is the hardest one. And the thing about this demo is if you play the demo, it'll unlock things for you when you buy the actual retail game. So as soon as you buy the retail game, you'll have like extra characters unlocked, extra things. So that's why I'm playing that one, and I'm excited for this game. I really am. Just played the demo a little bit. I played both songs, both on the medium difficulty, and I love it. I can't wait for this game. And I think I've already mentioned, comes out 2 weeks from now. I think maybe like a week and a half. So, but really that's about it. Those 4 things I've been playing. So, yeah, that's about it really. So,
I think that's about it in general for episode 102.
Fantastic episode, guys. I commend you.
Oh man, great. It's the best episode 102 we've ever done. For sure.
Best.
Yeah. Everyone say bye.
Alright, bye guys, later.
Take it easy, guys. Love you.